Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. And today's little sin is materialism. Now, materialism is a tendency to consider material possessions and physical comfort as more important than spiritual things or spiritual values. And that is certainly something we observe in our modern society. As a matter of fact, it's nothing new. This concept is thousands of years old. People have tried to accumulate stuff forever. They're trying to fill a void that they can't fill with these material things. Now, being materialistic is the idea of excessively concerning yourself with material possessions or being money-oriented. And those concepts go together, and I want to bring them out because these can certainly produce problems in our lives. How does that happen? Well, certainly it happens when we can obtain so much stuff that we worry about losing it. That's why materialism is a sin. It gets us worried about the things that will eventually go away anyway. Reference Matthew 6:25-27 and Job 9-11, and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. We accumulate so much stuff, it frightens us that we won't have it anymore. Materialism becomes a sin when we spend too much time working to get things. Luke chapter 12:16-21. We spend all our time and all our efforts trying to get these things. We're working so hard so we can build our so-called empire that one day will go away. Another reason it's a sin, the pursuit of things distracts us from what really matters. The entire book of Ecclesiastes is full of examples of that. Ecclesiastes 2:9-13 will give you a good example of that. Another problem materialism is greed. It doesn't lead to greed, it is greed. Going from wanting things to wanting more in an attempt to fill an empty void. I've said this already. Ecclesiastes 5:10, Proverbs 27:20. And of course the biggest reason it's a problem is because it becomes an obsession and it becomes idolatry. We waste all of our time and money to obtain things. And that when that's our focus, we lose sight of what is really important. Well, what kind of things do we collect? What kind of things show us in our modern day examples of being materialistic? Things like collections. I just have to have the next thing in the series. I have to have the next, like collecting Pokemon, collecting the TV series, collecting every album that a band has, collecting whatever you can get your hands on. I have to have it. Gadget progressions. I have to have the next iPhone. I have to have the next electronic whatever. Fashion, because trends change all the time. I have to have the latest this and the latest that. And of course, trends in general. I have to have this. I have to have that because this TikTok, this reel, this video shows these things, and I just have to have them. And when you have that thing where I just have to have it, you have a problem. You're disconnecting your relationship with God and with others when you continually pursue things instead of people. So, what do we do about it? Well, first of all, we learn to be content. 1 Timothy 6:6-8. Be thankful for the things you have. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting things, and there's nothing wrong with having an abundance of things. The problem comes when that's all you care about. Another thing we do about it, remember that all things belong to God, Deuteronomy 10:14. Now, when we realize that everything that we have comes from God in the first place, we realize it belongs to Him, and He is giving it to us on loan, and we are to take care of it. We are to put needs above wants, and that's another big problem that people have. Philippians 2:3-4, and 1 Timothy 5:8. It's a whole idea. Do I need to have this right now? No. So I'm not going to deal with it. And say no to yourself. Get your wants as God sees fit to allow you to have them. 1 Timothy 6:17-19. Now, God gave us all things to enjoy, but that doesn't mean we're supposed to have all things. So make sure it's within God's will and permissions before you go after it and pursue it with everything you think you have. And remember what real treasure is. Matthew 6:19-21. The real treasures are sent ahead into heaven. The works we do for God, the things we do for God, the time we spend with God, that is what the real treasure is, and the real treasure is with Him. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.